Good morning, everyone. I just want to begin by welcoming you to the session. My name is Ian, and I will be your trainer for today. Today, we're going to cover using data insights to help you grow your business. This is basically just understanding how analytics work, how you can be able to use or leverage this analytics to basically make your business work for you. Yes. So I would just like to start by asking you all to basically put your names on the chat box. You can use the chat box feature on YouTube. Just let us know who you are, maybe where you're coming from, things like that. Yes. So I will start by just giving you an overview of what you're going to go through this session. This is basically some of the things that you will gain from this session. So the idea is for you to get away with as much information at the end of this session. So some of the things you're going to learn is understanding the right questions to ask. So you'll be able to identify and basically note down some of the good questions that you'll be able to ask yourself in relation to your analytics and what to track. You'll understand some of the best tools you can also be able to use to gain some of this analytics and some of this information. And you'll also be able to understand and analyze your data sets so you can be able to translate what you are getting in terms of your analytics to being able to do something more tangible and actionable for your business. So I just want you to familiarize yourself with the chat box. It's the box over there at the corner. You can just use that to ask any questions or things like that. And my moderator will assist you, or I will answer the questions for you. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce my moderator to you guys. She'll be the one who's answering all your questions and everything in relation to today's session. And if there's anything she hasn't answered when it's a question time, I will also be picking that up. Yeah. So before we begin the sessions, I just want to show you a few free courses that we can do. This is more one-on-one mentoring available from Google. You can use the link below to basically register, and you can start getting more one-on-one mentoring sessions with Google. So what words would you best use to describe your customers? So this is a small exercise I'll ask you all. Maybe you can just put in the chat box some of the answers you would give in relation to how you view your customers. So are they hardworking? Are they loyal? Things like that. Do they purchase frequently? I'll just advise you to put that in the chat box and let's see some of the interesting answers that we are going to get from that. I'd say maybe if I had a shoe company and most of my customers are repeat customers, you'd say those customers are very loyal and they're very good for your business. Yes. So understanding the right questions to ask. This is basically just figuring out what questions this will be and how you can come up with them. The overall of this session is basically trying to figure out what some of these questions are. I come up, so you guys can also try and guess some of these questions that you'd want to put in relation to analytics or what you'd be looking for when you're trying to find analytics. If you put them on the chat box, I'll be able to read them and we can see from there. So what is the process of getting your analytics? One of them is starting by asking yourself, what is your objective? This is basically understanding what you're trying to achieve with whatever analytics you're trying to record. So you have to identify your objective, and then from there, you start basically asking yourself more questions. So what questions do you need to address in relation to what you're tracking in relation to your analytics? Where will you get that information from? And what will you do with that information after you have received that information? So we're going to take a closer look at what can be done. And if you have any questions or if you get lost somewhere, just put your questions in the chat box and I'll be able to assist you. So number one, what is your objective? Let's look at some of these objectives below. I can give you a few examples of some of these objectives. These are things like telling people more about your business, selling more of a product or a service, identifying most of your valuable customers. So this can be just trying to understand who's really giving you the bang for your buck in relation to your business. So you can be able to just understand and know who exactly you'll be targeting. And lastly is find new ways to engage with previous customers. So let's say you have a huge customer base, but you don't have a lot of return customers. So finding out new ways will also increase your return business. So maybe build more brand loyalty and build more money coming in from people who have already purchased your goods before. So now that you have identified some of these objectives, what are the questions that you need to address? I would say we use a very simple antonym, which is REAM. It stands for reach, engage, activate, and nurture. So what is reach? This is who is my target audience and how do I reach them online? So this is just understanding more of the person you're trying to target. Engage. Are they finding what they need? Are they being satisfied when they come to your page online or to your website? Do they feel fulfilled with the content that they see? Activate. Are they booking? Are they calling to make an order? Are they coming to your shop to see what wares you have? Are they looking for your services? And nurture. After the first time that they came for your products, are they coming back? Are they reordering and things like that? So, what tools can you use to get analytics and data? So, where do these tools come from? How do you get access to these tools and things like that? We are going to cover below. Basically, I would say there are four main ways you can get a data analytics for your business. One of the main ones is social channels. These are things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, things like that. They tend to have inbuilt analytics for their businesses, which help you measure views, likes, follows, shares, all of that. So you can really get a lot of the information you're looking for. The other one is organic search. This is basically identifying what your customers are looking for and aligning your business with their searches. The other one is your website. This is basically identifying the pages in your website which have the most views, which users are really engaging with, or which users are not engaging with, or they're bouncing off your website from. And lastly, I'd say is a paid search, which is how you market your products and customers using paid channels. So this can be things like looking for Google ads and things like that. So you'd ask yourself, what are they looking for? What type of audience do you want to attract? Yeah, basically just trying to understand their trends and trying to see how you can be able to best match your business with the customer. So just expounding more on this, what do you do with that information after you have gotten the information? This is now, I have the insights and analytics data. What do I use it for? What can I do with it? How does it affect my business? Things like this. You need to ask yourself such questions to be able to properly understand how you can really leverage these insights for your benefit. So one of the things I'd say, one of the ways I would say you can be able to use this insights is you can be able to identify market trends, you can be able to ascertain your users' experience to better understand their path to purchase. And so you'd be able to identify what content users like to influence, um, some of your content marketing plans and things like that. You can leverage your insights to share your overall strategy. So it basically, using insights really helps you to hone in on what you might need to improve, what you might need to double down on, or what you might need to completely remove as it's not helping your business. So, from where we have reached, does anyone currently have any questions? Is there something that you might need to be clarified for? Just let me know, put a question on the chat box. Yes, I would suggest to try and ask as many questions as you can. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I had a small mishap. Uh, just 1 second. All right. So back to where we were. So now we're going to cover how to identify the best tools to use. This is basically some of the things you can use to be able to learn more about your business. I would say, you guys, what analytic tools do you currently use? So for now, I don't want to give too many, but I'd say things like Facebook Analytics, Google Ads, and things like that. If you have any analytics that you currently use for your business, put them on the chat box, on the comment box, and you can be able to see some of the responses from you all. So I'd like to talk about some of the tools you can be able to use in relation to your business. I'd say for social media, we can use tools like Twitter, Facebook, Hootsuite, things like that. You can also use Instagram. Instagram has a very good analytics tool also. LinkedIn also has analytics. On Google and things like that, I would say a very good analytics tool for that is Google Search Console and Google My Business. These are two Google services, but they are for entirely different uses. Google Search is more for overall, and Google My Business is more for specific for your business. For your website, I would suggest Google Analytics because it's a plugin you can be able to add to your website, and paid search, which is Google Ads. Yeah. So just to dive deeper into some of these insight tools, I would say a tool like Facebook Insights, it really helps you find out what people are engaging with your Facebook page, on your Facebook page, and how they're finding. These are things like your activity, your page views, your likes, your reach, your page engagement, followers, all of that. And the good thing about Facebook is you can adjust it by time. So you can get for 1 day, you can get for a week, you can get for a month, you can even get for years back if you download as a report. Google Search Console. So this is more for being able to track what people are searching on Google. So this allows you to get basically analytics and reports to measure your site's search traffic and performance. It also allows you to fix issues and make your site perform better in the Google search results. It will also allow you to see queries or bring users to your site. So you can just be able to get more information about how people are interacting with your website or with your Facebook page. It will also help you analyze your site impressions, your clicks, your position on Google search, and things like that. Also, one of the things that is good about this is whenever your site is having an issue, it will alert you on email and it will identify the issue that your site is having. It might even attach some of the links or the URLs that have been affected, and maybe give you a suggestion of how you'd be able to fix them. So this is a very good tool to just be in the know of how your website is performing or how your page is performing online. The next I'd say is Google My Business. This is perfect for your business as a whole. You can use Google My Business as a tool to manage your online presence across Google Search and Maps. So basically, it works as being able to list your business online, and you can directly engage. It allows for customers to directly engage with your business. So this is where you can put things like your time, your contact information, your exact location, and some more relevant details about your business that you might want people to know. So currently, like in the COVID time, if you have a strict mask policy, this is one of the things that you can add your to your page to allow people to just know that as they're coming to your business, they have to have worn a mask. So one of the benefits of Google My Business is it allows you to leverage on its insights. So you can understand things like how many views your listing has, how and where your customers are finding your listings, the action some of your customers are taking on the page, if they're clicking certain links, if they're going to the website and things like that, and any other interactions your customers have with your Google My Business listing. So I would say for any new business, this is a perfect tool. Actually, for any existing business, this is a perfect tool for you to be able to just understand how people are relating with your business and how they are engaging with it on a day-to-day. The next option I'd say for analytics is Google Trends. Google Trends is basically a search feature that shows the popularity of a search term in Google. So a perfect example is, let's say you have a fashion business. Maybe you provide custom clothing, you could provide skirts, jeans, and things like that. If you'd want to understand more of what people are talking about or some of these trends, you can basically use Google Trends to do this. So it can help you view whether a trend is on the rise or it's declining. You can also find demographic insights, related topics to the things that you're searching, related queries that will help you better understand the Google Trends. So let's say you want to know what people are talking about skirts. If you go to Google Trends and you search for skirts, it will also give you results for the skirts. It will give you what are the most trending conversations around skirts, and it will also give you some of the related topics that are being discussed about that. So you can be able to get a deep dive into the products that you provide or the products you might be interested in providing in the future. And it also helps you track how people are engaging or when there's a trend in something. So if there's a current spike in jeans, maybe it will tell your business that you should invest more in jeans at this time, and then at this other time you should invest in skirts, and at this other time you should invest in shoes, because that's how the trends are going. So the good thing about Google Trends is it provides a very large unfiltered sample of actual search requests made on Google. So all the information you're getting is from people who've actually searched for the information online. And it allows you to display interest in a particular topic from around the globe or down to a city level geography. This is basically if you even want to set up your business in United States, in Florida, and you just want to understand what are some of the things that are interesting there, you can really just go on Google Trends, see what people are searching for in that location, and then kind of just dial down slowly into maybe what you want to get into your or what you want to do in terms of business in that specific location. So what are how do people rise above competition when using Google Trends? So I'd say this is a perfect way to be able to monitor your competition or the market so you can be able to stay above them. Uh, you can use trends to find relevant trending topics. This will help you see clearly whether the search volume is increasing or decreasing, so you know where to invest in at what time. It also allows you to see seasonal trends in one clear-cut shot, so you don't have to track ATI for a long period of time. You can just sit. A few minutes on Google Trends can really give you a lot of information or a lot of context of how a certain topic is performing within the year. It can also help you monitor competitors. So you go and look at your competitor and see how their keywords are performing, if people are searching more for them than they are you, and just kind of dialing down into why are they searching more or why are they searching less, or what can you leverage to increase your business. It will also help you identify steady keywords for SEO. SEO is very important for ranking on Google. So if you're able to identify the keywords that can really impact your business and can really put your business on the map or at the front of the search results when they're searching for a business, I would say it is very ideal for you to do that. And it can also help you find topics by region and to target customers that are local, regional, even global scale. So let's say you have a shop in Mombasa, you have a shop in Nairobi. You stock the same thing, but in these two different cities, the trends are very different. So what you can do is, if in Mombasa people are more into skirts and in Nairobi people are more into jeans, you change the stock. So the Mombasa shop has more skirts and the Nairobi shop has more jeans. That way you're able to cater to where the bulk of the people are, and you're not losing an opportunity in relation to potential business. One of the other tools that I would very much suggest that you have is Google Analytics. This is basically used to understand what customers do specifically on your website. It gives you complete information. It allows you to understand your site and apps and users to better check the performance of your marketing, your content, your products, and more. It will help you get insights only Google can give, because this Google Analytics tracks a lot of metrics, more than all of these third-party analytic tools, because Google is the main search engine of the world. So they're the ones who have the bulk of this information. So if you're able to attach this to your website, it's very good to leverage the insights that it will be able to give you in relation to your business. So one of the good things about Google Analytics is it will be able to connect your insights to results. So if you're working, if let's say you're doing Google adverts and you're wondering what products you should post on the next time round, you just go back to your analytics, look at which products perform the best, and that is a very good way for you to understand. Okay, if this is a thing that performed the best the last time, why don't I do it again? Let me see if it will perform the same way. So just looking at the analytics, looking at the trends, you can be able to really understand how you can best leverage this analytics to be able to grow your business. So we are going to take a deeper look into some of these different features and the ways you can use analytics in the next few slides. But first, I'll ask if anyone has any questions. If you do, please put them on the chat box. We can just have a look at what you're doing, what you're curious about. Is there anything that has disappeared kidogo in translation or anything like that? If you have any questions, feel free to put them on the chat box. Winnie will be able to answer you, or I will be able to answer you. Just ask, and we'll be here to assist. So for now, I think we can move to the next slide, and then if any question comes up, you can just put it on the chat box. So understanding and analyzing your data. So in this topic, we're just going to talk about breaking down more of how you're going to look at your data and how you'll be able to interpret it for you to be able to make money or turn it into an actual business or a sale. So we're going to start with the Google Analytics dashboard. This is where you can be able to run through some of the features and insights you can gain to take your marketing further. It shows you things like geographic location, popularity over time, active users, visits, how to acquire users, and things like that. So this is a good dashboard to just have an overall understanding of what your business is like and how it is performing online, and some of the people who rather than all of the people who are coming to your business. How do you set up a Google Analytics account? I would say the process is actually fairly easy. You just go to Google analytics.google.com or google.com/analytics. I think my moderator can provide the link below. You name your account. This is, especially if you have multiple accounts, it's a very good idea to name them so you can be able to keep track on what is what. You can choose the industry category to help you when you benchmark against others who have tagged the same industry. So if you sell dresses, you're in fashion. If you sell vegetables, you're in farming or agriculture and things like that, or agribusiness. So this allows you to easily be able to understand who your competition is, what they're doing, and some of the trends that they are on. Also, the good thing about analytics, it's anonymous, and it's also a combination of a lot of information. So it will be able to show you what your bounce rate is compared to your competitors or other things like that. I think this is also the opportunity I'll take to let you know if you want to understand more about the Google Analytics and its whole world. I think there's a link that will be put in the chat box for the Google Analytics Academy where you can get a free training course. Yes. So with Google Analytics, one of the things that has to be done for your website to be able, rather to allow Google to be able to track, is using a tracking code. So where do you find this tracking code, and how will you be able to use it? The good thing is the tracking code helps you to track your site's performance, and once you're able to add the tracking code to your website, it's fairly easy from that to get your analytics. Where can you find the tracking code? I'd say when using a website builder or blog, there may be a simple field where you can add a tracking ID for your website. So just always go to the settings and look at the website or the site information and look specifically for where you'd be able to add Google Analytics, the Google Analytics tracking code. Yeah. So there are four main areas I would say that you need to understand for reporting. These areas are your audience, your acquisition, their behavior, and conversions. So your audience, this is who are your users, where are they from, what do they like, things like that. Acquisition, this is how did they find you, how did they find your business. The good thing is about acquisition is it really helps you understand where you're getting your users from. So if they're mostly from Google, or if they're mostly from Facebook, if they're from a completely different source altogether, these are some of the things that you'll be able to track very well, and you'll be able to understand where you're getting your customers from and how you can be able to leverage that more so you can even get more customers. Another thing is behavior. This is what actions are they taking when they're on my site? Are they going to the home page? Are they going to About Us? Are they going to the shop page? Are they just quickly coming to pictures and logging off? Things like that. This will be able to will be able to make you understand your consumers' behavior on your website and how you can best be able to tailor make their journey on your website. So if you find a lot of people come to the home page, but they don't go to the shop page, what you can do is, since your ideal is to get people to shop, you can bring some of the shopping things, like some of your best sellers, and you can put them smack in the homepage. So that way, since most of your users are coming to the homepage, they'll be able to see some of the things you're selling before they leave the website or things like that. So some of these tips or some of these tricks are the things you can use to really leverage how you can control your website and how you can optimize it to be able to grab or engage your users more. And conversions, have they completed the goals I want to track? So you have a website, it's very good. It has all the information that it requires for your business and what you sell, but you're not sure how it's performing. So you're not able to understand how many people are coming in and how many people are leaving while they have purchased something. So Google Analytics is very good at being able to track the conversions and being able to tell whether the number of people who are engaging with your website are actually leading to tangible sales or to money coming directly to your wallet. So for conversions to work, goals have to be set up to track specific actions. So once you've mastered the basics, this is really worth doing. So I would say just experiment slowly over time. This is not something that you have to understand at quickly in one day, that everything on Google Analytics you now get. I'd say try different things, experiment, try moving something from one part of the page to another based on your analytics and see for a period of time how it's performing. Is it performing better? Is it performing worse? And just do that. Keep doing that until you find the perfect mix that works for your website. So what I would always advise is your website shouldn't be the same over 2 3 years. You have the same looking website, it's performing exactly the same. What I would say is always strive to improve how your website is performing. I'd say the only people who really have an excuse for leaving their website the way it is for years upon years upon years is if the formula is working. And sometimes when the formula is working, there's no need to change. But if the formula is not working, or you have some pain points or some areas you're uncomfortable with and things like that, I would always suggest use your analytics and try different things so you can see whether you can be able to increase conversions or you can be able to increase business for yourself. So another thing I would like to talk about is the data. So Google Analytics can reveal very valuable data. So what dimension or what channel is this data coming from? The numbers and the metrics the numbers, or rather in quotes metrics, these are the new users, recurring users, the different sessions that people are having. Google Analytics is able to give you all of these details. So this is things like, okay, people are coming to my website. Where are they coming from? It might show some are coming from Google, some are coming from Facebook, some are coming from organic search, some are coming from paid search. Another thing you'll be able to see is how many people are return visitors. Things like cookies. Every time you go to our website and you're asked to accept cookies, this is what cookies are for. They basically track the user and see whether this is someone who has been there before, this is an entirely new user. If it's a new user, where have they gone? What have they chosen? If it's a recurring user, today they chose jeans, tomorrow they chose shoes, the next day they chose jeans again. So maybe it's someone who is trying to decide something that they want to buy, or maybe every time they're coming to your website they're looking at one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing. So this is someone, maybe I should send them a discount coupon for this specific thing. Maybe I can email them with an offer or a voucher to be able to entice them to actually make the sale if they've been coming back to back to back to back, but they haven't committed to actually making a sale. So Google Analytics really helps you understand your audience and some of the things you can be able to do. So what I always advise is learn more about some of these marketing strategies you can use, because analytics is fine. Rather, analytics is great, but if you don't know how to leverage the analytics after you've gotten it, it won't really assist you. So learn about some of these behaviors and just learn how to track the different information and what it means for your business, or how it can be able to translate to your business actually making money or making a sale. So we have come back to the antonym of REAM. This is basically going back to this strategy, but in more detail. So in reach, how are people finding you online? You should be able to identify which search terms are driving the organic traffic to your site. This is basically exactly what they're typing in. If they're just typing, in the case of jeans, are they searching for blue jeans, faded jeans, brand new jeans, just to understand what are some of these things that they're searching for. So you can be able to maybe put them in your keywords to improve your SEO or to improve your results when people search for your business. It will also help you to look to improve links from your social media platforms. So what links are you putting on your social media, and how are they clicking on those links to direct them to your site? It will it will also help you develop relationships and referral websites to drive more traffic to your site. So referral websites, these are basically anyone that you've worked with who has put a link that attaches back to your business. So it can be back to your website or back to your social media or things like that. So understanding how you can reach all of these different people will also help you understand how you can best put yourself out there. So if you know that your people are on a specific website, so let's say I'll stick to the example of jeans because that's what I've been using today. So let's say you're a fashion brand and you've gotten a new website, but the traffic isn't that high, and you know the people that you're trying to target like going to a cooking website or an appliance store website or things like that. What you can do is approach the appliance store business and tell them, hey, I noticed that your target market is also my target market. So what you can do here is you can put a post on your page that links back to my business, and I can do the same from my side. So it's not even a story for where you have to pay someone money to put your business on their site. It can be a sort of barter trade. And as you develop more and you become a bigger brand, some of these people will be very, very happy to put these links on their pages. They'll even come and look for you and ask you, can I link this to my page? Can I put this information on my page? So this way you can be able to develop more relationships and referrals to the websites, and you can be able to drive more traffic to your website. And then E for engagement. What are people engaging with? And what are people engaging with when they find you online? So this is basically what is making them like your content. So you have to learn which pages are not getting any views, discover what is really engaging to your visitors. For example, you could discover that you lose a lot of people at the payment page. So this page might need to be simplified or it may need to be readjusted. So basically, engagement is understanding exactly how you're keeping your consumers in your website or your social media. So basically, learning how you engage with your potential customers is the go-to way of being able to make a sale. Like for example, for the payment. So let's say someone reaches a payment page and then it tells them, oh, you need to you need to put in your email, you need to give us your credit card information, you need to do X, Y, Z, and it's this long process before they're able to make the purchase. The person will be deflated and they won't purchase because they're like, "Ah, this person is taking me through too many hoops for me to actually make this purchase." So imagine if you overhaul that and it now just became pay on this tail number and put the code in on the website. Most people have M-Pesa, so for them to be like, okay, that I can do. So if you simplify things on your website, or if someone comes onto your website to the gallery page and they want to look at many clothes, so let's say they want to look at shirts and they also want to look at jeans, but when they click on shirts, it opens, and then it opens one folder, and then within that folder there's another folder, and then now is when you get to view the one picture, and then you have to go back and back to view another picture. So that is a long process. So why not just make it so that you have the option for shirts, and the shirts are in picture form, so someone can already see the overall design that they want. Then if they want to focus on that specific one, they open that one. So that way you're making it easier for the consumer to engage with your website. The thing about a website is the simpler it is to engage with, the easier it is for a client to make a purchase. If you look at websites like Jumia, where it's a few clicks and you're on to making a purchase, that is why they're very effective at conversion. It's because once you enter the website, 2, 3 clicks down the line, you have bought something. So always look at how much you can shorten the journey between when the consumer engages with your website and when they'll be able to make a purchase. The simpler that journey, the easier it is for you to make a conversion. So we're back, we are at Activate. This is basically what channels are driving the most bookings. This, you need to identify which referring sites are driving your conversion. You need to be able to understand for these sites, for these sites that are for referring sites bringing you good quality traffic, can you develop a partnership with them? So this is going back to what I had said before, like let's say you have an appliance store and you are a fashion store and you're seeing you have the same clients, and you probably ask them if you can put the link of your business on their page, on their website, for about maybe a week or a month to test how people are engaging, and you found that a lot of people were actually moving from that site and coming to yours, and a good number of them are making a purchase. Maybe after that, you can really pursue making that deal more of a partnership where you're like, okay, this is working for me. Could we do this on a longer period of time? Now, instead of a month, can we do this for 3 months? Can we do this for 6 months? And as you grow and as you get more conversions, it can even end up being a permanent partnership where you'll only decide to split ways if both of you decide, but otherwise the deal runs all through. You can also look out for underperforming referring sites and consider reviewing their partnership. So let's say you have 10 sites and 6 of them are with good partners, you're getting good conversions, but 4 of them are lacking. Maybe you're only getting one person visiting your site in a month, or even one person visiting in 3 months. Those sites, you'll really have to sit down and review whether there's a strategy that you might need to change. Maybe you can be put in a different place on the website and things like that. Or if you've tried the different strategies of changing where you have been put on, or changing the graphic that you have on that website, and none of them have worked, that would be the time where you just suggest that the partnership can come to an end. Now, nurture. These are the customers who are happy to leave a review. So this is for your loyalists, your go-to customers, the ones who always make a sale, rather always come and make a return sale. They're very happy to give you genuine feedback, and they give you constructive feedback into some of the products you have. And good feedback doesn't always mean positive feedback. Good feedback is constructive feedback. It's feedback you can grow on. It's feedback of, if your jeans, the zip was a bit, the quality was not the best, change the quality of the zips to a better quality. Things like that. So always nurture feedback from your customers, because they are the ones who really give you an insight into your physical product or your service, and they're the ones who will really help you improve on what you are providing. Also, when people give reviews, respond to all of them. All of them. If they are good, if they are bad, respond to all of them. And especially the bad ones. Never miss the bad ones, because if you only review the good reviews as a business, anyone who comes to see your business will wonder, will see that this business is pushing a very specific narrative. They're only pushing the good things. But a good business is able to tackle both good reviews and bad reviews. And even for bad reviews, always make sure it is professional and it ends on a positive note. As much as you can, always try to end the feedback that you're having for these reviews in a positive note. And some of the things I'd also say is try different ways to encourage your purchasers to leave a review. Look at what works best and do more of that. So it can be when someone is making a purchase, a pop-up can come on the website and ask them to rate, like give it a thing of between 1 and 5 stars. And if they do that, you can also ask them to comment. Some can just have an overall review at the corner of the page where someone can just give a general review of what service they have gotten. You can also try emails where you get an email that is asking you, could you kindly review the purchase that you made? Is it good? Was it delivered on time? Was the product up to the quality that you expected? Did the picture match the product that you received at the end? Did the package come in good condition or it was damaged? Things like that. It's always a good idea to ask for reviews. This way also the customer feels like the business cares about the products that they are providing. And it also gives them the opportunity to, you as a business, it gives you the opportunity to look like, okay, we got money from you, but the money is not the only thing we're looking for. We are also looking to provide you with a good experience, to provide you with an experience that was enjoyable for you. So that was on Google Analytics. Now we are going to cover Google Trends. This is basically, we're going to discuss the homepage and some of the things that are within Google Trends to just allow you to understand what Google Trends is and how you can leverage it to get more business. So the good thing about Google Trends is it allows you to explore what the world is searching for by entering a keyword or a topic in the Explore bar. So you'll be able to see stories curated by the News Lab at Google that provide additional insights that are found in the data. The thing about the News Lab is it's available in some countries. So that's more of a trial and error situation. So you can try and see if it's available here in Kenya. And you can let me know if there's anyone who is a Google expert. You can just quickly go on Google Trends and tell us if you can find the News Lab on Google Trends. The good thing about Google Trends is you can also see the daily search trends in general. You can also see the search trends of the year. So you can always take a short-term view or a long-term view. You're not really restricted exactly on the period of time that you want to see. You can also find guidance about materials and things that will be interesting to you in the News Lab or in Trends. So the trending searches page shows trending searches around the world. Here you can click on a story and get more context, like the most relevant articles or trending queries. Like I'd mentioned, the daily search trend highlights some of the searches that jumped significantly in traffic. And among all those searches over the past 24 hours, which ones were the ones that really took the helm, took the prize? You can also use Google Trend searches to see what people are most interested in and how the searches rank compared to one another. So this is just a nice way to keep in track of what is currently trending, and if it's trending, can you be able to jump in on that trend? If you saw something that was trending yesterday, you've seen it trending today, you've seen it trending tomorrow, how can you leverage on that trend? Can you be able to maybe make an ad or do something to your SEO to be able to leverage that trend for you to be able to make business? Another one is real-time search trends. So this is basically the trends that have jumped most recently. So you can find the daily one is what has happened over a 24-hour period, but the real time is maybe something that has happened in an hour. If there's a big news story that has come out all of a sudden, you can be able to see maybe 1 hour ago it was not there, but now it's at the top of the list. So things like that, being able to just be aware of what's happening and just understand what is currently trending in the world at any given time. So how do you leverage using Google Trends for your business? Basically, one of the things you can always do is check on seasonal trends and you can adjust to demand. So seasonal trends allow your business to stay relevant and to stay competitive. Throughout the year, your business will experience peaks and dips, and that will impact your revenue. So you should be able to know when the peaks will happen and when the dips will happen, and what you might need to do to be able to get your business to stay afloat or to profit through both of these periods. So one of the things I'd say is, let's say you're a clothing brand and you want to use Google Trends to find out the seasonal trends and find out where the dips are and where the peaks are. What you can do is just you can create content about your current trends and adjust to demand. What you'll do is, let's say there is in January to March, jeans are the peak. Jeans are the thing that are trending the most. And maybe from March to June, July, it's dresses or things like that, or pants. Your business, if you track maybe year one, the pattern is the same, year two, the pattern is the same. It will tell you the population has a certain item of clothing or a certain piece of clothing that they favor during that period of time. So you as a business, what you can do is that January to March, you can invest more in jeans, and from March to July, you can invest more in pants. So this way, you can be able to kind of avoid the dips, and you can just try and stay on the peaks of the different materials that you'll be able to sell. And even what can happen is if you find that you're dealing specifically in one type of clothing, and this one type of clothing, maybe it peaks in January to March, and then from November to, or from October to December. What you can do is during those 2 periods of time, that is where you buy all of the stock you require. You buy as much stock as possible. You do the most pushing online. That's when you spend most of your money to do your ads and to do that, so you can be able to reach as many people as possible during the peak to maximize on the sales made during that time. And the other period of the year, you can now, that's the time you relax. That's the time you start looking for new jean styles, new things you can add to your store and things like that as you wait for the next peak of the trend. So that way, you're never caught off guard. You're never in a situation where you've bought stock but there is no one to buy. Yeah, you bought stock. Maybe you've, because you know this is Kenya, people have taken loans, so you've taken a loan to buy the stock, and now you find your stock isn't moving, so you're in trouble in terms of paying it off. So being able to track some of these trends can really help you manage both that element of controlling your stock and also managing your finances in relation to the business. So using Google Trends for keywords research. So this is basically how you can use Google Trends to show what searches and keywords are trending. Use the related queries section to use trends to identify other potential keywords. So if you have searched for jeans and then you find people also looking for shorts, people also looking for shoes, you can consider that being something else that you might want to invest in as a business. You can name your product, your categories according to popular keywords. You can optimize your posts according to trending keywords. So basically, if if your business is called Anika, and you find out that a lot of the trends currently are on blouses. So some of the keywords you can use is Anika looks for blouses, or Anika blouses, or Anika sells blouses. So this way, when people are searching for blouses, your keyword pops up and you end up coming into one of the related searches. So that way, you've kind of leveraged the trends to also be in so you can also appear in the search results for people. So I know I have said a lot of things, and before we move on to the next section, is anyone curious about anything? Does anyone have any questions that they require to be answered? Please let us know, and we'll see how it goes from there. All right, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to post it. So basically, I just wanted to reaffirm the one-on-one trading sessions available from Google. Just click on that link and you can be able to get a one-on-one mentoring session. So what are some of the next steps that we are going to do in relation to uh, Google Analytics and analyzing your insights? So today's session was just the beginning. I would say, what is one of the things you would do or change following this session? I would advise just trying to understand more about your analytics and see how you can be able to make them work better for your business. What will you implement first, and what are some of the things that you are going to really track that you are going to really be looking at when you start looking at your analytics? So I'd suggest that you can find us on social media. These are some of the links. You can also find us on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. I'd also advise you to subscribe to the Africa 108 page so you can be able to just stay on track with some of the insights and some of this information in regards to our trainings and just keeping everything digital. From now, I'd just like to say thank you for joining today's session, and you can share your feedback on the link that will be provided below. You can also just, if you have any more questions before we close the session, I would say this would be a perfect time to do so. I would also like to, I can see a comment by Everyday Life, Rosie. This is very informative. I don't really have a business, but was looking into starting one and was hoping to put it online as a beginner. Is this the right place to start? Yes, I would say it's a very good place to start because as you're beginning your business, one of the best things to do is have a way to be able to track how it's performing. And going online is never a bad idea because you can still do everything on a physical shop, marketing physically and all that. But I would say digital is always a good backup for your business because it allows you to reach a market that otherwise you wouldn't have been able to reach before. So being able to go online or to go on Google and see how your business is performing online will also give you this knowledge as you move forward. So right now, I wouldn't say you have to know everything on your fingertips or you have to be an expert of digital, but I would say as a starting business, going online is key for you to understand how you can be successful and how you can grow it more. So as you go along and as the business gets bigger, you won't join then. You'll have already joined. And then now you'll also have the budget to do things like running ads, and you won't be confused about it. You won't have to hire someone who tells you a lot of technical jargon and maybe they're eating something on the side. You will know what you're looking for. So even when you're going to look for services, you'll know what you need to pay for. So I would always advise if you're looking to go online, do it. A perfect place to start would be GMB or Google Business Profile, but currently it's still known as Google My Business. This is a listing for where your business would be, location and details like that. That's a very good starting point because it's fairly simple and it just gives you an introduction into how your business would be performing online and some of the different things you can be able to track and leverage on to just understand. And then as you go along, after getting your Google My Business profile, you can also attach, if you already have a website, get into Google Analytics. If you currently don't have a website and you still want to understand how to use insights to leverage, if you have a social media, if you have an Instagram, if you have a Facebook, these are also perfect places to be able to go look at these analytics and see how you can be able to work with them and change your strategies on your social media to be able to basically impact more people. So I think that was the only question, or let me just see if I can find any more. Yeah, I think that was the only question for today. So for now, I would just like to say thank you for attending, and we're looking forward to you attending more sessions in the future and growing in your digital experience. Right.